everybody, and welcome to another stream here on youtube.com/Johnny Chiodini. 'Tis I, Johnny Chiodini. Here I am. And what have we got coming up today? Unsurprisingly, eggs. So, I didn't stream last Monday, but the Monday before, you may have remembered I was doing a test egg for the Leagues of Votann for Warhammer 40,000. Since then, I have cracked on with some... I've cracked some more eggs. Cracked on with more eggs. More egg cracking. Eggs. I've done 10 of them, which is half of the infantry done from the army box. I'll introduce you to... I haven't named them all. I've named this one. This one's called Benedict. Has a literal egg for a head, this one. And I'm pleased with how these are coming out. I'm not good at edge highlighting armor and backpacks and stuff like that. I look at people who paint Space Marines, constantly, and I'm like, how do you have the patience? I think you've already seen this one. This is like a medic there. That's some sort of medic there. This is a lady with a rather interestingly textured face. And then I've assembled another lady egg, and then I realised I'd given them almost the exact same pose. So these are gonna be sisters. They'll be doing it for themselves. I'm gonna name all the squad members, and I'm gonna print off little name badges for them with my 3D printer, because why not? This is like the leader of the pack, as it were. You can see she's got a crest, and she's yelling into a little walkie-talkie that's on her wrist. So that's nice. Then we've got two more who are very similar in that they're wearing helmets with the visors down, but this one's got a Warhammer, which is funny because Warhammer is the game, well, the brand. The nice which says of the one yelling into her wrist thing that she's saying I think she is. It looks like it. So that's those two, and then we've got 3 left. We've got this one with a Magna Rail rifle. That's a big old shooty gun with a long old range. That's them there. I've had quite a lot of fun repeatedly freehanding that little crest on. And then there's I like the helmets too much not to use them. So there's another one who looks fairly like the rest of the squad. And then you got this guy who's got sunglasses and a cool gun and a cool knife. And is just generally a pretty cool dude. So, that's like 10 of the 20 Hearthkin warriors, I believe they're called, painted up. So I thought, as a bit of paint pudding, I'd do this big chap who's an Einhyr Champion, who just basically is a big egg with a hammer. So he can run around cracking other people's eggs, and by eggs I guess I mean skulls. So as you can see, I've put down what little blue there's going to be on this model. But also, I'm going to do this, but I had a spare model. This is actually from Warhammer Age of Sigmar, but this is Jakob Bugmansson the 11th, or Jakob maybe. Jakob Bugmansson. And he's a dwarf with a barrel of beer on his back. And I thought to myself, you know what? I haven't used this for anything, but he looks pretty egg-like. So why don't I paint him up as well? So I'm going to paint him up. I'm doing it in a sub-assembly, so I can get at this backpack. And I've got his axe in a separate bit as well, so I'll assemble it after it's all painted. Will says I have a friend called Jacob who only bloody looks like that mini. Oh, wonders never cease. So yeah, beer egg, says Jack Wood. Exactly. Don't coddle them, says Aidan folks. I see we're already off to a strong start on egg puns today. So yeah, all right. Jakob, says Naka. Very good. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. We're going to be laying into this Einhyr Champion, painting a lot of ochre onto him, and then we'll see where we go from there. How is everybody? Are we doing well? How was your weekend? Did you have a nice time? I hope your Monday isn't going too badly. Mondays were always a bit of a rough shock as you kind of accelerate slowly out of the weekend. Alex Simpkin has done a super chat saying Tyranids love themselves some free range eggs. In the lore of the Leagues of Votann, they kind of respect the Tyranids for being good warriors. Also, I saw somebody earlier ask me what I thought of the nerf. I think the nerf is fair on the Leagues of Votann. I think the grudge token seemed ridiculously overpowered, so I'm not that worried about it. Ooh! Will says I have to go to the Apple store in a bit because my laptop's monitor stopped working. That's very bad, but I have a second stage interview for a job that is better. That's great news. I hope you smash it, Will. Good luck. Natasha Morgan has done a super chat saying, Hi Johnny and Skelly pals, I'm stuck in bed with COVID thanks to Mr. Harrower, brackets my boyfriend, who is also a huge fan of yours. Thank you for the many hours of laughs we've had together. You are so incredibly wonderful. That is high praise. Thank you very much. That's really lovely, but I'm sorry to hear you have COVID. I hope you recover very smoothly and swiftly. Do not push yourself. Rest up a lot, because when I had COVID, the fatigue was severe. And it was very frustrating waiting for that to lift. So do not push yourself. Take care of yourself and Mr. Harrower. Thanks again for the super chat. But I hope you do well. Here comes the Wobbletron. Jack Wood says, I am very tired. I came third at a heresy event yesterday. Hey, congrats on third place. That's great. Why Wobbletron not work? Wobbletron, you worked before the stream. Wobbletron's been quite temperamental, to the point where I'm worrying if Wobbletron is just straight up breaking. Come on, Wobbletron. Like, more than once, I've wondered if Wobbletron is just dead. And this is one of those times. I think Wobbletron's dead. Oh no! Wobbletron? You're gonna... What? No! We need good positive vibes only, Wobbletron. Aha! Okay. Wobbletron clings to life. I'm not going to hold Wobbletron up to the camera in case that kills Wobbletron. But Wobbletron's not very happy. Will says, wow, it's weird. I can't believe cheap eBay electronics have such a short lifespan. I know! Like, E is in eBay. What is it if not the electronics bay? You know? Ugh. Cheerful Spider says, I retract my F. Natasha Morgan says, it's the second time round for me. My work is not happy that I'm off. Well, they're just going to have to deal with it, aren't they? Because you come first. Your health is more important than your job. Trans Gamer Nerd 27 has done a super chat saying, first day of the new job, taking a break with all the first day virtual orientation stuff, wanted to hop in and say hi, then with a sparkly heart emoji and a trans flag emoji. Congrats on the new gig. I hope your first day is going wonderfully and that your colleagues are very, very nice. First days are always exhausting. But yeah, I hope it's going smoothly. Cheerful Spider says more like bay or bay. Okay, so I'm going to use a bit of airbrush thinner on my palette today because I realised, like, the problem with this ochre paint that I've had before is that it's quite sort of like, I don't like the texture of it. It doesn't come out brilliantly. And thinning it down with water just tends to make it a bit too thin. But a little bit of airbrush thinner goes a long, long way and means that I can control it better. So it goes on more smoothly, but also that it gives good coverage by sort of just suspending the pigment. And I realised, actually, I can get away with doing like 1 or 2 coats, like fewer, on this model. Which is great because it means my underpainting starts showing through a bit better. So in the time since my last stream, I've had a bit of a breakthrough with the old Vallejo heavy ochre, which is a delight. So Ronnie says, hey pals, been quite ill in numerous ways, but tuning in while for once doing some painting. It's Curse City time. Hey, nice one, Ronnie. I had a very good time painting what models I did from Curse City, and then I don't know why the enthusiasm just left me. I think that's because they sort of bungled the release. So I keep meaning to go back to it, but at the moment, at the moment, my brain is just full of egg. So there we go. I've just found this ochre goes on more smoothly now that I've just chucked in a bit of airbrush thinner, which is very good. My thanks to them, Bojack, for always suggesting airbrush thinner in any given situation, which made me think of trying it. So there we go. Will says, did you see what happened with the expansion, Johnny? They bungled that too. Yes, as far as I'm aware, the expansion was £35 to buy some cards that are only used, that you can only use with some models that have already been released separately when they thought the game wasn't coming back, and those models will run to like 95 quid. Am I reading that correctly? Is that what it is? Because that's a lot. And it's like just dreadful, really. Aiden Folk says, any Essen FOMO? Nah, not really. I had quite a nice weekend. I went to Oxford for the weekend. And I don't know what it is, but Essen never really appealed to me when I was working like in tabletop properly. I think just because I find trying to play tabletop games at shows exhausting. And it's nerve-wracking going to those shows because like any game you're going to play like as a demo, it's going to take time to learn the rules and get through it. And if it's a stinker, you're just like, oh god, I've just wasted half my day or whatever. It was £120, but also immediately sold out, and then you can't buy it anymore, says Will. Is that of the expansion again? They've not done it again, have they? Like, properly again? Good God. Happy Jack says, went to see Mattis Yahoo last night. Was dancing with a young lady, and she ate one of my gauges while trying to bite my ear. I'm staying inside for the rest of the year. Wow. Was she okay? I'm assuming she didn't mean to, but maybe she did want to eat your earring, your ear gauge. How big's your gauge? Wow, they actually did do it again. Oh, okay, wow. Paint the ochre on the dwarf. $12mm, half an inch. She spit it out and we kept dancing. Oh, all right, Happy Jack. Fair enough. I thought you meant properly, just like, That doesn't sound so bad. Moriax42 says, so Johnny, I saw that you received some of the new 40k MTG decks. Is this a harbinger of you may be playing some more of it? Yes. In fact, I'm organising a 4-player commander game with some pals. So it looks like I'm finally giving not 40k, MTG a proper go. Monks in chat says, ahoy, ahoy, hoy. Is that the unicorn, the big unicorn egg lad? Yes, this is the Einhyr Champion. Just laying down a first coat of ochre right now on him. I've already painted his trousers, his tiny little trousers. Well, not tiny little trousers. What little of the trousers you can see, because it's covered up by a lot of armour. But I'm going to paint his bum in a sec, so that'll be fun for everybody. Just Another Broke Nerd says, I have a couple of minis that have clear plastic. Do I need a special paint, or will acrylic kind of dye it so it's still a bit clear? Thanks. I don't know. If you want to paint over the clear plastic so it's translucent, I'm not actually sure how to go about that. If anyone does know in the comments, then please do say. But if you are, it depends what you're looking for. If you are looking for it to be opaque, and if you want acrylic paint to actually adhere to it, then you need to prime it anyway. Mark says use washes. Will says contrasts in it. There we go. The Nice Rich says haha a bum. And Dave Gresham says still the buns on that fellow, woof. CookieCat94 says you can use alcohol inks to stain it, but would be good to use a clear varnish over it after. There we go. Ink's not... Right. Chaos says if you want to paint over it so it's translucent, use inks, not paints. You will also want to key it slightly so it actually adheres. Interesting. So there you go. I hope that is your question answered. I'm sorry that I didn't know off the top of my own head, but that's why we have a lovely community of Skelly pals. Ooh, Will has shared a link for how to paint stained glass on the emulator, which is a tonk. So I'm just going to put some music on in my headphones. There we go. Thanks, all the clear plastic is flames, so I thought it could be interesting if it stayed somewhat translucent. Nice. I would say the link Will just shared is probably quite useful in that it's how to paint some translucent bits on the model with other bits that aren't translucent. Oh dear, I'm quite tired again. It's going to be another hysterical egg stream. Maybe I'll tell another once upon a time story about 2 theoretical eggs. But I'm pleased to say things are calming down for me again now. I've had a few very, very busy and stressful weeks, but now it's sort of returning to normal and the relief is palpable. Danilla Dragon has done a super sticker. That super sticker depicts a Shiba Inu standing on its hind legs and holding its paws up like this, as if it's trying to say, look at my muscles. But occasionally, the Shiba punches a paw in the air and some text appears saying, how's it going? How's it going? It's going pretty great, thanks, Danilla. Like I say, quite tired, but over the brink in terms of... over the hill, rather, in terms of, like, the knackering stuff I've got to do. So hopefully, if I'm smart about it, and that's a big if, I can catch up on some sleep soon and just generally get back to working at a normal-ish pace. I'm also going to have a good old think about the uppermost tier for my Patreon. Because, as you may know, I've been putting out an RPG a month, which is either written like a module for the series Weird Tales of Adventure, which is written with a proprietary rule set, or it's a silly one-pager, kind of in the same vein as like Grant Howitt's stuff, I guess, but probably less popular. But I've looked at the metrics, the download metrics, and not many people are actually downloading them, so I think I might swap it for something else. So I need to think up sort of some new content ideas for that top tier. Stuff that will make people feel like it's worth the extra money. But probably just easier to get hold of and interact with. So maybe like another video series. I was thinking about what if every month for that tier I did... a monthly pub quiz. But then I thought, is that too weird? I don't know. I'm going to think up some things. But if anyone has any requests or anything, send me a message. through Patreon or on Discord or what have you. So it'd be nice to get some feedback. I might put out a post just being like, what sort of thing do you want to see? Sam Street says, oh my god, yes, pub quiz. Will says, what if every month for that tier you turned up in an unsettling place holding an ominous sign? Sounds like a lot of work, in fairness. Why is there a fly in the room? Fuck off. Layer up the ochre. Just another broke nerd says, thanks again and quick. And just quick watched and the link was perfect. My local store also has that exact brand of paints. Oh, tremendous. That's good. Chaos says it's my 10th wedding anniversary on Thursday. That's a good excuse to buy myself the egg box, right? Yes, Kay, it is. Get yourself some lovely anniversary eggs. Absolutely do it. They're just so much fun to paint and play with them. I think you'd have a great time. I'm going to say and play with them. I've not played a game of 40k with them yet, but to mess around with. Ugh, the nice witch says, what if the top tier was bug snacks? No, I don't want to ever touch bug snacks again. That freaked me the fuck out, that game. Absolutely not. I lasted 15 minutes and it still haunts me. Mark Cohen says, 10th anniversary gift has traditionally been egg. See, exactly. Year 5 is wood. Year 4 is linen, I think. Year 10 is egg. Anniversary egg. Eggiversary. What's 6? 6 is sugar, which I think is rubbish. But, hey ho. I mean, it's all silly nonsense anyway, but it is quite fun to have a theme. Wegging anniverse eggy, says Chaos. Fantastic. Anniversary, says Dave Gresham. Yes. Aiden Folk says, I suspect I'd probably spend more on super stickers on this channel than the cost of your top tier. Probably, and I appreciate them hugely. Thank you very, very much. So TwitchCon seemed to go well, huh? How about that? People dislocating someone dislocating their knee and another person breaking their back in 2 places. Seems to be something of a PR disaster. The nice switch says, also all the staff treating disabled attendants like shit. Bad crack. Yeah, not good. Oh, some of you didn't realise. Basically, they set up a foam pit where they were like, hey, jump in the foam pit. You know, like when you see those like pits in like gymnasiums that are full of just like big foam blocks? They did that, but they were just like, it wasn't deep enough, and it was on a concrete floor. So an attendee jumped off and landed on this concrete floor, and she's broken her back in 2 places and has had to have an operation to put a rod in her spine. So not great. Jackwood says, "Oh god, it's the Dashcon ball pit all over again, but worse." Yeah, what was the Dashcon one? I didn't know about that one. I'm very, very sorry if I completely cock up saying your name, but Bodran Mullen, fingers crossed, has done a super chat saying, "If you want a nice, slightly sad game to play, A Story Beside is about an innkeeper's life during an RPG. It's really sweet and full of loads of choices. Yes, please." Amazing. A Story Beside. Right, that is going on the list. Oh, yeah. I'll play the shit out of that, thank you. Dashcon's ball pit was literally a kiddie pool full of ball pit balls. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. CookieCat94 says you're better off not knowing about Dashcon. Right, understood. Well, thank you for answering that one question. Let's move on. Right. Layering up the ochre. Da 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 da. Is that a cod piece? Yes, got a cod piece. Oh, I missed some leg. Cod piece. Da-na-na-na-na-na, cod piece. Will says the best part about the ball pit at Dashcon is that it wasn't even put on by the organisers, it was put in by an attendee. Wow. Okay, alright. Yeah, every now and then I think about, how Twitch just seems to be better for growing an audience for streaming, and like, oh, am I limiting myself by only streaming on YouTube, yada, yada, yada. And it always coincides with something like that happening. And I'm like, I will stick to YouTube for now. Also, it's nice to just, because I put out a lot of VOD stuff, it's nice to have it all in one place, really. I suppose I could stream on Twitch and then upload to YouTube, but I feel like most of my audience is on YouTube anyway, so... Well, says Twitch is better for growing an audience, but it seems like it's better for growing an audience of ... Yeah. Yeah, let's stick with some lovely YouTube skeleton pals. At least for now, hey. I don't know if you can hear Watson loudly having a drink there. Her water bowl has been relocated to the corridor just outside my office while we still have the kittens. We've basically separated our front room into 2. My partner has done an amazing job putting up a series of barricades. Like, honestly, there's a lot of French revolutionaries who'd be proud. So the kittens have like run of the kitchen area and like a good chunk of the front room. It's safe in the kitchen. They can't get up on the counters or anything. Don't worry. But so yeah, we're keeping Watson in the sofa-y bit and the office and bedroom and stuff, just so they don't get stressed out on either side, really. And for now, it's working very well. But before long, I'm sure the kittens will be escaping even that bit as well. Well, the kittens are doing very nicely, doing really well, growing up far too fast, if you ask me. Thunder Cookie's done a super sticker of a cat. The cat is quite creepy, to be honest. It's a black cat with like yellow eyes and a mouth that's just like, ooh. So, all right, Will has to disappear and go to the Apple Store. Good luck, Will. I hope that the repairs are not too expensive. Fingers crossed. Catch you soon, buddy. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. And yeah, good luck at the Apple Store. But yeah, Thunder Cookie has done this sticker, right? And it's a creepy cat, I'll be honest with you, which puts me in mind of the cat in Hobbs Barrow. Which is indeed a creepy, creepy cat. And I believe it surely is not done with scaring us in that game. I should finish it this week on Thursday, because I am going to stream it again. Why not? So that's going to be fun and interesting and potentially harrowing. But we can't stop now. It's too compelling. Aidan Folks has done a super sticker. The super sticker is of a peach. It's a very ripe-looking peach. And I'll tell you something else about it. It's shaped in a very peach-like way, but also in a way that makes me think about, and this may shock you, so forgive me, but a posterior. It looks like a set of buttocks. And I'll tell you what, the shading on it, the way the light is hitting this peach, does little to diminish the effect. If anything, it enhances it. So it really does look like a bum. And I suspect Aidan is cognizant of that fact. I suspect, furthermore, actually, that Aidan was trying to put such a thing into our heads on purpose. So there you go. Christopher Needham says, is harrowing a... this is a super chat. Says, is harrowing a contraction of Hobbs barrowing? Very good. I don't... It's strange. I really want to get into the barrow, but I'm also afraid to go in the barrow. I don't think good things are happening in that town. Or the village of Bewley. But hey-ho. EO122 says, wait a minute, if you have an Apple product being fixed, does that mean it's being repaired? Very good. Hang on a second. Adjust the... There we go. My face cam was ever so slightly overexposed. And I thought, not on my watch. Right, the oak is looking fairly decent now. So let's start... Oh, I've missed the crest bit. Damn. All right, well, we'll do that, and then we'll start filling in the rest. We'll do the face, and I don't think there are really many... No, I don't think there are any leather details, but we'll do the sort of gunmetal on the hammer, and a little bit under this big smashy thing. Ooh. Separately, I cannot believe it is already the 10th of October. Where did the last 10 days go? It's terrifying, quite frankly. I haven't even watched a single spooky movie so far this month. And originally I was like, oh, maybe I'll try and watch a horror film every night in October. Not a chance. Last night was the Hunter's Moon, the full moon in October. Oh God, Russ Voss says, I fell asleep last night watching the second Hobbs Barrow VOD and my dreams were exactly as messed up as you'd imagine. Yeah, no thanks. I had a very strange dream last night in which they had fixed Cyberpunk 2077 so it was a really great video game and I was having a great time playing it. What a very, very specific and extremely weird thing to dream about. But I remember being very pleased, just being like, oh good, they fixed it. Weird. Thunder Cookie says, yes, and the full moon was kind enough to shine its light smack on the middle of my pillow, which means no sleep for me. Oh, no. Will says, mate, you should try having more realistic dreams. I know, right? Toreador the Explorador says, have they not? I don't know. I mean, I dreamt they'd really changed it, so... Right. Let's get some tan paint out. Yeah. Start painting this guy's face. Oh, sleepy. So what's everyone's favourite horror film? I don't think I have one favourite, but I would say The Thing, Dog Soldiers, they're both up there. Pontypool is right up there. A lot of people saying Alien. Colin Lasser says Event Horizon. Will says Ginger Snaps. Yes. It's quite funny that the sort of jock dude who, spoilers, pees blood at one point, is also the jock dude in Tucker and Dale versus Evil. He really managed to break out of that typecasting, didn't he? Happy Jack says, big fan of It Follows. Yes, that film is awesome. It's very, very good. Specky4i says, Little Shop of Horrors because I'm a musical coward. That's a fine choice. It's a great movie. Pomelo Boomslang says, Devil's Backbone. Nice. Good choice. I remember watching that in Spanish class at school. Monk says Tucker and Dale is Tucker and Dale versus Evil is a bloody delight. I saw it for the first time at Fright Fest in Leicester Square, and the atmosphere in that cinema was amazing. People just having a great time. EA122 says Ginger Snaps is very good. You're damn right it is. Bloody great. Bodran Mullen, I really hope I'm saying it right, I'm very sorry. Says Pan's Labyrinth, does that count? I think that counts, definitely. Especially with that bit with the beer bottle, with the guy who's been catching rabbits. Oh, wow, Wobbletron. Really messing up there. Wobbletroning the whole stream, Wobbletron. Boo Must Die says, original Nightmare on Elm Street. Yes! That's great, that film, it really is. And you get to see Johnny Depp die. Oh shit, I shouldn't have put that there. That's... Gareth says Shaun of the Dead. Lovely. I don't know if anyone's seen Martyrs, but fucking hell, that film was intense. I honestly wasn't sure if I could finish it, and I've got quite a strong constitution when it comes to horror, but oof. Monk says, "Do Moon or District 9 count as horror?" I've not actually seen Moon. I don't reckon District 9 counts. Okay, I'm glad some of you have also struggled to watch Martyrs. It's just intense. I got it from Agnes says, "Hi, glad to catch the live stream." Hello, I got it from Agnes. Welcome aboard. Currently we're talking about what our favourite horror films are, but I'm painting an Einhyr Champion for the Leagues of Votann for Warhammer 40k. There we go. Aha! Boran says, this is a super chat. If it makes you feel better, it's pronounced bow, like what an... Oh, no, bow. Like what an actor does. Rawn, like the garden. So, Boran. Boron? It's a hard Irish name and I'm deaf. It's fine. Okay. Sorry for being inept. But thank you for the super chat. Monk says, "I'm coming round with Moon." Yeah, let's have a movie night, Monk. Let's watch Moon. I'll send you a text. Find out when you're free. I'd love to watch it. Balron. Okay. We got there. EA122 says, "The latest Candyman is a tremendous watch, genuinely tense." Jordan Peele worked on that, didn't he? I think he is very good at making movies. Did he like co-write it? I can't quite remember. Emma Benton says, "The original Candyman still haunts my dreams and I only saw about 20 minutes of it." It's the atmosphere in it is really pervasive, isn't it? It's very good. And, shit, what's his name? Oh, Tony Todd. He's just fantastic. Oh, I missed it. Oh, I missed 2 super chats. Seb Heaven has done a super chat saying, "Happy Canadian Thanksgiving for your for your favourite Canadian snack food. Really enjoying Hobbs, Barrow and Prey. I have to go fix a very broken leg, so we'll catch the rest on VOD." Oh goodness, Seb. I hope that goes well. And indeed, if you're watching this on VOD, hello. I'm sorry I missed your super chat for so long, but thank you very much. I appreciate it very much. What is my favourite Canadian snack? Do wings count? And Levi Coffee has done a super chat saying, "Event Horizon definitely. Also, I'll be painting again. I got a Warhammer starter kit this weekend. Today, though, schoolwork. Thanks for being an awesome background." You're very welcome, Levi. I'm glad you're painting again. Welcome back to the hobby. It's nice to be painting again. I haven't had a chance to do it in a little while. But it is... Oh, it's relaxing. Defect says, "The ending of the first Blair Witch is very uncomfortable, isn't it? Such a good gut punch." I think that film's fantastic. Also, The Descent really shit me up as a child. Well, as a teenager. But, Wobbletron. And the first Hellraiser was good, yeah. Joe Miller says, "Good morning, all." Good morning, Joe. A random L is on a super chat saying, "A little something to say thanks. Had to have our guinea pig Gamora put to sleep today, and your streams helped soothe her during the night last night." Oh, a random L, I'm so sorry. That is really hard. I'm glad they helped. Clearly your guinea pig had great taste, but I'm very sorry that she had to be put to sleep. That is tough. It's always hard to lose a pet. And I hope you're doing all right. So, yeah. Take care of yourself. And again, thanks for letting me know and for the super chat. But yeah, just lots of love, really. That's tough. I know there was another bit of blue I needed to paint on this somewhere. Just going to check what I have painted and tidy it up a little bit, but that bit. Okay. Oh God. What's the Japanese film that's like almost like a rom-com for the first 2/3 and then just goes off? The one that's like kitty, kitty, kitty. It's so grim, that. God, what's that called? Audition. Thanks, Mr. Tom, for the win. That film was so much. I think I watched that in 2005, maybe 2006, and it was a tough watch. The nice which says audition with a sad face. Claire de Bear says, will you do the vampire lope for Halloween? What's the vampire lope? Is it a dance move? Is it what all you young people are doing on TikTok? Will says, ooh, what films or media filled you with fear that aren't intended to do that at all? I'll go first. Aged about 14, I was so terrified of a performance of Cabaret that it made me feel sick. No idea why. I know that very specific fear. It's terrifying, isn't it? What used to scare me? I can't remember. Colin Lasser says the pink elephants in Dumbo when I was a kid. Yes. My God. That was nightmarish. The boat sequence in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The sort of younger one. The Nice Witch says, boo, I have to go to work now. Take care, Skellies. Take care, The Nice Witch. You can find The Nice Witch on twitch.tv/The Nice Witch. THEE Nice Witch. Good times guaranteed. Oh, you know what? I'll tell you what really scared me as a kid was the mops in Fantasia. Because it was just like, oh God, the situation was so quickly out of control and like he couldn't do anything about it. It just scared me. I didn't like it at all. Oh, and the I know they're meant to be bad guys, but the wheelie guys in Return to Oz, horrible. Claire de Bear says, will you be doing the Vampire Lope game for Halloween stream? The one with different characters with different powers. Bullet Hell? Oh, thanks for the super chat. You mean Vampire Survivors? Yeah, maybe. I was going to play some out-and-out scary games for Halloween, to be honest with you, so we'll see. But possibly. I could do a bit of a medley for Halloween. So I could get that one going. Play as Old Man Poe with his weird... his garlic breath. Jack Wood says, big vampire lady game? Oofed. I haven't played Resident Evil Village. I could give it a go. I've got a couple in mind, but I'll come up with a list. I know people have suggested Subnautica. Danilla Dragon says, E.T. seems to have scared a lot of us. Oh, it was terrifying. When he first sees it, horrifying. Awful. Just another broke nerd says, scary games like that Alien game. Alien Isolation. I could give that a bash. Kind of want to find some stuff that's a bit more off the beaten track, though. And, like, you can already see me playing the first, like, fair amount of Alien Isolation on Eurogamer. So, kind of want to mix it up. I got into a very involved conversation about X-Files over the weekend, which was obviously a delight because that show's brilliant. But I saw episodes when I was growing up, but never like many. And then I went back with my partner a few years ago, and we watched the X-Files all the way through. We didn't get all the way through. We got pretty far. And I realised the episode that scared me the most, the one with the pizza guy who is a vampire, it scared me witless as a kid. It's actually one of the most like out and out comedy episodes of the X-Files, but all of that sailed over my head as a child. I was just terrified, absolutely petrified of it. Mr. Tom for the Win says, Johnny, may I talk to you about our Lord and Saviour Phantasmagoria 2, A Puzzle of Flesh? Been streaming that over the last couple of weeks, and it is a ride. Oh, God, I'll have a peek. But that's different to Phasmophobia, right? Which is the ghost hunting one. I'll have a peek. It's not that autopsy simulator, though, is it? Nick Jeffrey has done a super chat saying, hi Johnny, to add to the conversation, I had repeated nightmares about Moomins when I was a kid. Those things freaked me out. Yeah, they made me feel uneasy. The weird thing is, like, I realised most of the programming I watched when I was a kid made me feel uneasy in some way. Like, there were lots of programs I didn't really enjoy but would still watch as a kid, and I don't know why. I think it's because I knew they were meant for me, so I was like, well, this is what I'm supposed to watch. But there was a lot of telly that just made me feel really uneasy. I guess that was just sort of my anxiety showing itself in a nascent form. Because I've absolutely had it as a lifelong condition. But yeah, just weird. CookieCat94 says the Bob the Builder game gave me the most nightmares as a young kid. No idea why. That is a curious one. I didn't love the fact that there was a day-night cycle in Legend of Zelda: The Ocarina of Time. That used to scare me a bit. So I used to play the song to make it daytime whenever that happened. It's just spooky scary. Colin Lasser says, did you see the news that Deathloop is in the Dishonored universe? I did see that. It feels very weird, but it's quite cool. Makes sense. I haven't finished Deathloop. I got relatively far. Right, I need to layer up the face. And I'll do the Blamplar. And then we're good to shade this guy and then highlight him. He's been a much faster paint job than I thought he was going to be honest. Watched a couple of episodes of Tales from the Crypt over the weekend. I'd never seen them before. I'd seen episodes of Tales from the Crypt before, but these were both new episodes to me. One of them had Kyle MacLachlan in, and it was just a treat. What a delight. Goldblake 4 says Mr. Blobby terrified me as a kid and I still feel uneasy about him to this day. I feel uneasy about Mr. Blobby. I hate that fucking thing. Can't blame you. Black Templar. Agrax Earthshade. Alright. Kara's MS says, what is up, Johnny and Skelly pals? I'm currently sick, so I thought I'd chill out and watch you paint some stuff. I'm sorry you're sick, Kara. I hope that lifts very soon. I'm well, thank you. We're painting this beefcake with power armor and a butt. Do I need to do another coat on that ochre though? Because it looks quite. No, it's all right. It looks quite dull on the camera, but then also this miniature doesn't look as colourful as it does in real life either. So I think it's just the camera. Aiden Folk says it was a mistake to introduce lowlies to Blobby then. Yes. Danella Dragon says, what even is Mr. Blobby? Do you mean what even is Mr. Blobby supposed to be, or that you literally have no knowledge of Mr. Blobby? Because if you have no knowledge of Mr. Blobby, just keep it that way. Just sleep a little longer. Just live in a world without Mr. Blobby. Like, you just don't have to look it up. It's like when the EU referendum happened, and then again when Trump first got elected president. Well, Trump got elected president of the United States. I said to my partner, I was like, "Listen, if it goes badly, just don't wake me up. Let me sleep. Let me sleep for a little bit longer in a world where I don't know." Hetnikick says, I looked it up. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you. Yep. Welcome, Hetnikick. Life will never be the same again. How did it feel when the innocence was pulled from your eyes by the thing in the monitor, hey? Or the phone screen? Dominic Beresford Webb says, Mr. Blobby is a national treasure. No. No. He was a psychic terrorist. He was a scourge on the nation. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing people that Mr. Blobby was good fun. It was a nightmare. Oh, Jack Wood says, Johnny, that was my 20th birthday. Fucking hell, Jack, that sucks. That's not the present you want, is it? Oops. You know what should have freaked me out as a child, but actually reassured me loads, was the Magic Roundabout. I found that a very lovely, soothing, safe program. Will says, I stand by my statement that Blobby is the lesser of two evils when compared to Noel Edmonds. Yeah, I'd accept that. But he's still bad in his own right. He's dreadful. Emma Benton says, my dad kept telling me about the magic roundabout and I legit thought it was some kind of acid trip he imagined. Oh, it was real. And what's more, it had a banging theme tune. Right. Oops. So I'm just cleaning. You know what? I'll just use that bit. Right. I'm going to shade this thing now, which means getting out the old classic shade brush, babes. It's messed up, all right. And then I'm going to mix some Agrax Earthshade with water. Skalny says in a super chat, hey Johnny, please can you send supportive messages from my boyfriend Cameron, who is definitely a fan of the Lovecraftian horror that is Mr. Blobby. Or, asking me to really compromise on my principles here, but sure. Cameron, this is a supportive message. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're having a nice day, even if you are somehow convinced that the Lovecraftian horror that is Mr. Blobby is a force for good. I'll never be able to reconcile myself with that way of thinking, but please know that I don't blame you personally. I wish you well, even if I think Mr. Blobby is a blight upon the world. Oh, Cameron says, I'm not. Oh, thank fuck. Cameron, what's up? How are you doing? Isn't Mr. Blobby fucking awful? Oh, that was a close one there, Cameron. I hope you're doing fine, buddy. That made me giggle. All right. Reshade the thing. Oh, I didn't layer up the face. That's annoying. Okay, well, I can go back and do that. Sorry, that was my phone that vibrated, not yours, in case any of you are reaching for your phones. I'll silence that in a sec. Dominic Beresford-Webb says, you know Mr. Blobby has very good hearing, right? Be gone, agent of evil. Scion of the Blobbed One. Trying to manifest him here in this chat. God, I hate him. I hate that fucking TV character thing. Abomination. Whatever you want to call it. There we go, that's the shade on there. And sort of just leave that to dry for a bit. Aidan Folks says the guy who built Brum built several robots for Robot Wars. That's badass. I loved Brum. Brum was dead good. There was a car called Brum in Brum. Or Birmingham if you prefer. Absolutely, absolute. It's great stuff. Loved it. Right. So that's the shade on that. For now. Quite pleased with how it's sort of shown up their joins on the armour. And then we shall edge highlight. Right. I'm going to silence this phone. Okay, we should start talking about Mr. Blubby because it just makes me sad. Will says, Robot Wars chat time. I'd love that. I once met Professor Noel Sharkey from Robot Wars. I was filming an interview with him for GameSpot. But it was actually more about how drones are really dangerous because they can't tell with enough certainty who is an enemy combatant and who is a civilian, and therefore shouldn't really exist. So it wasn't like as much of a giggle as being like, who's your favourite house robot, Professor Noel Sharkey? But there was still that bit of me that was just like, yeah, here he is, it's Noel Sharkey. It was great. And of course, I feel really bad actually that Sarah's already gone. The Night Switch bloody loves RefBot. We've talked about RefBot before. Thunder Cookie says Robot Wars, as in Transformers. Oh, no. Robot Wars was a show on British telly. I believe it was BattleBots in the US, where basically people would build robots in their sheds and then they would take them to an arena and make them fight. It was really good. It was really good. And there were like house bots who would like mess you up if you came too close and stuff like that as sort of a random element. It was just tremendous telly. I'm going to try and put a tiny bit more shade in this bit in particular. Oh, that's just actually not that deep. Okay. Right, going to let that sit for a couple of minutes. Rob Deville says, Matilda was my queen. She was great. Cameron says, the Robot Wars episode of Space is also quality. I'd forgotten about that one. That was tremendous. Nick Jeffrey has done a super chat saying, I'd rather be a blobby than a Trump. Yeah, fair. I'd rather be most things than a Trump, to be honest. I'm still fascinated that there's a micro bot league where you can take it to a pub and have a smash up. Spicy Kitty says, I got to see Matilda in person once, much bigger than she looked on TV. Oh, cool. Yeah, because I kind of assumed that she was about that size. But what if she was bigger? CookieCat94 says, I can remember watching a young Grant Imahara's first fight with Deadblow. Grant Imahara was great. It was extremely sad that he passed away. Melody Williams says, there's a Tomska sketch with Sir Killalot, so I assume that one's a Brit. Also doesn't speak much. Wait, what? Toreador the Explorer says that, yeah, they're like hip height, as I recall. Hip height? Hip height? No. That's like a... That's enormous. That's like the size of an adult pig. Seriously? Ronnie says, wait, Grant is in Mythbusters, Grant. Yeah, Grant Imahara. Oh no, some of you didn't know. Yeah, he passed away very suddenly. I'm sorry, everybody. Oh no. Oh. Dave Gresham says, yeah, that's about how big. This is... Jill Gorham says, yeah, I knew a couple of people who were on Robot Wars. The house robots were huge. Oh, Ronnie, I'm really sorry. I need to find a picture of the house robots. Will says that's not the size of an adult pig, mate. Pigs are massive. Some of them are big. Some of them are about that size. Matilda. House robot. Size. There must be a photo of Matilda next to a person. Wow, according to the Robot Wars wiki, Matilda was So this is presumably from a video game. Oh no, or maybe this... No, Matilda, okay, was 1.4 meters by 0.6 meters by 0.6 meters and weighed 116 kilograms. 0.6 meters. 0.6 meters. Now, hang on. Okay, so that's... That's 24 inches. Okay, that's tall. That is tall, in fairness. Wow. There's a picture of two of the house robots next to Dara O'Brien that might be useful. My table is 0.7 meters tall. Jesus, they are big. Wow. Okay. Huh. Good lord. Well, there you go. House robots. Massive, turns out. Will says that's the range of a bolt gun. Right, I need to layer up the face on this dwarf. Wobbletron, what's wrong with you? Crap. Wobbletron, please. I don't feel like Wobbletron's long for this world, to be honest with you. Oh. There we go. Phew. There we go. Okay. CookieCat94 says Wobbletron would not survive a fight with the house butts. Indeed. Wobbletron can't survive just existing, seemingly. A shame. Poor Wobbletron. Okay, here we go. I'm going to shade this face again, so for now I'm just sort of oh, that's clumsy. Oh well. Nick Jeffries on Super Chat saying some money for the Wobbletron 2 fund. Don't start a Wobbletron 2 fund now. Wobbletron will definitely go then. On principle, it'd be livid. Okay. Oh, Monk says my wobbler did that to me the other week. I can show you how to fix it. Perfect. Okay, cool. Phew. Thanks, Monk. Where would I be without you? Wobble-less. That's where I'd be. Shade Glass, Seraphim Sepia, Caribou Crimson, no thanks. Where's my flash shade gone? Oh well, I might just use Agrax then. Grumpy and Stitch, the newbie gamers, have done a super chat saying, thanks for helping us cope with our dad's loss on Saturday. Keep it up, you wonderful person. I'm so sorry to hear it, Grumpy and Stitch. That's got to be hard. But yeah, I hope you're taking good care of yourselves and each other, and that it gets easier, because that is, yeah, that's big. Lots of love. I'm glad I'm helping provide a distraction, however small, because, yeah, that's rough stuff. Ah, yeah, that hadn't completely dried, that paint, but oh well. That's fine. Right, I'll tell you what I might do is use this as an opportunity while that shade dries there to... Oh god, where did I put it? There it is. One sec, I'm just going to grab something. The other day, I picked up for practically nothing actually, a mini mixing jar from Tamiya. Because I was planning to wash out an old pale sand bottle, but I haven't. And what I need to do is I'm just going to mix up some of my edge highlight colour, because it's annoying having to keep mixing it myself, like every time I do it. So please, Wobbletron, please live, please stay with me. Wobbletron, come on, you fucking useless bastard. Fine, I'll do it manually. Carlification says, I had a long day at work today, so my dog is extra cuddly after dinner. He's practically on my lap in the couch, and he's a big boy. That sounds delightful. Yeah, I was away for a couple of nights over the weekend, and I hate being away from Watson, but it's very, very nice when I come home and she just goes bananas. It's very validating. So anyway, I'm going to take some of this Phalanx Yellow. I'm going to pour some in, because I'm going to be using this a lot. So I may as well mix it up. Quite literally, ha ha ha. You can pull off the silicone cap and pull on the wobblinator inside. Whoa! My god, Monk, just making me... You know what, I found that doing that really helped just then, briefly. Cool. Will says, I'm glad to see that you had a good time at your alma mater, blah, 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 college. Yes. I had a very good time tweeting things about my alma mater, Belial. Paul Howard says, was there a press any Chiodini this week? I might have missed the public release. Unfortunately, no, there wasn't. Apologies for that, but I simply did not have time this week. I had to devote a lot of time to something I'm not allowed to talk about for some time, which I realise doesn't make it any better or easier. But yeah, in long story short, no, there wasn't any press any Chiodini. It'll be back this Saturday. Do please forgive. Need a bit more pale sand. Colin says, secrets? Secrets. Edenflex says, is it something we'll know about eventually? Yes, it is. It is not... I wasn't making a video or writing anything. I simply cannot talk about what it is, but please, to manage your expectations, it's not me being like, here's a massive long video thing I made. It was simply something that was time-consuming that I had to do, but I will be able to tell you about it soon. Whereas that's still quite cryptic, but... I think that's about right, you know. I think that's... Yeah, that's right. Okay, cool. So I'll do that, and then I'm actually going to add a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of airbrush thinner. Thunder Cookie says, is the Isle of Oxventure happening this year? I was wondering if you had a good time with that. It's not. It's happening next year. The old comic relief Oxventure thing. Anyway, right. Here we go. Ta-da! I've mixed up some edge highlight. Cool. Let's just see how that shade's dried. It's fine. Let's do a little highlight. All right. Please all of you stop saying that I've murdered someone. I haven't murdered anyone. Didn't kill anyone. I wasn't hiding a body. Cool your beans on that front. It's all good. Right. Okie dokie. Shaz the Great and Powerful says, what an odd sentence to enter a stream on. Yeah, it's my it's kind of my natural ability to say something that out of context seems extremely incriminating. Pretty much at all times. So, hi Shaz, I hope you're well. Welcome aboard. And if I can just start protesting my innocence now, that'd be great. So, anyway, with that paint I've just mixed up, I'm now carefully going to start doing little highlights on the armour. It's nerve-wracking, but I think I'm getting a bit better at doing it. Yep. Melody Williams says, that's some nice edge highlighting colour. Thank you. Yeah, it pops quite nicely. I'm pleased. But again, it's kind of it's been a learning curve for me, highlighting armour like this. I marvel at people who do sort of every line so perfectly when they're doing like Space Marines and stuff. And I think that's why I avoided ever trying to paint Space Marines at first, because I was like, I don't know if I can do that. But I found my own approach, which is, again, not to paint Space Marines, but you know what I mean. I found things that work for me. I also had a friend who's a tattoo artist give me a couple of handy tips. I mean, he was actually talking about drawing, he was talking about tattooing, but I realised it's a similar thing. Or rather, it also applies to painting. But he says, push your curves, pull your straights. And what he means by that is, if you are doing a curved line and you're tattooing, the hand is much better at pushing that out. Like the motion of the wrist is much better to be like, to push out that way. But pushing a straight line is harder than pulling a straight line, because of how the wrist moves. So if you push your curves and pull your straights, I've sort of tried to do that a lot more. So I've been like rotating my models an awful lot more to try and make sure that I'm pulling or pushing based on what it is I'm doing. So this is a straight line, so I want to pull it. But then we've got, like, let's say this curve up here, so I want to push that. It's interesting, it just works. Like, it's very useful. Toreador the Explorador says, also use your shoulder if you can, more than wrist for straight or long strokes. Oh, that's a point, yeah. Ooh. Interesting. Handy. So, sorry, I was painting way over there, wasn't I? Hugh says, no, not handy. Weren't you listening? Thunder Cookie says, is anyone painting or crafting along? Just curious. A good question. Anybody? Georgia Colvin has done a super sticker. The super sticker depicts a pear. Not just any pear, because, you get a pear from the supermarket. That pear's not gonna move. It doesn't have arms or legs or a face. Certainly doesn't have a party hat on and a party blower while it's going like... This one, though. This one does. Don't know where Georgia Colvin found this superb sticker of a pear doing this dance, but my goodness, it's unlike any other pear I've ever seen. What a marvellous thing it is you've brought to my attention. Thank you, Georgia. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely day. I had to throw out a pear yesterday. It was overripe. It had gone over, and it wasn't good for eating anymore. It made me sad. Not just because I don't like to waste food, but because I was kind of looking forward to eating it, and then I just completely forgot to. So, whoops. Alex Thompson says, ambitiously trying to do a whole Curse City box before the end of October. So far, I've done 3.5 models. Curse City is a lot of characters, I will say that much. But, you've got, like, the zombies. They're kind of a unit you can just sort of batch paint, right? Anthony O'Connell's working on a very fiddly Tyrannid Toxicrene. Heather Nichols says, drawing here. Lovely. Ooh, an idiot with a workshop says, currently covering a plastic skull with latex and cotton to look like horrible skin, then on to painting it. 'Tis the season! That sounds a lot. In a good way, but still. Bismuth says, just finished undercoating a drop pod. Lovely. Is it one of the absolutely massive ones? Do they only come in one size? There's so little I know about the forces of the Imperium. And I assume you can have drop pods even if you aren't an Imperial chapter. Monk says, finishing an edit on the next video, Zombie Dragon Halloween spookiness. Yes, please. I love the photos of that work in progress Zombie Dragon Halloween spookiness that you sent me. So I'll be very excited to see that hit the channel. Oops, that was a bit much. That was a prime example of me not following my own advice. That line was very clumsy. But so far I'm pleased with how this is coming out. Will says there are two sizes, big and small. Oh, okay. Nick Jeffrey says, I'm drawing closer to my destination on the bus. How droll, Nick. Very good. One of the cats is kicking off there. Is that Scout or Loons? Can't tell. Frodo the Dodo says, that line was very clumsy. Me watching Attack of the Clones. Nessie says, hello, I have arrived precisely when I mean to. Good on you, Nessie. How are you doing? Are you well? I'm having a nice time painting this big clanking dwarf. Who I mentioned I'm going to name every model in my army, because fuck it, why not? This one's going to be called Dundon St Pancras. Because when I went to Nottingham, not this weekend, just gone, but the weekend before, I was very tired on my way back, and I was sat in coach D on the train. So they had the information ticker that was like a big D for coach D, and then they had the station names going past. But then that meant that every time a station name reached the end, the first letter would be replaced with a D. So stations that made me giggle included Dettering, Dundon St Pancras, Duffborough was a good one. It wasn't the right line, but it made me think about the line that runs to Derby, which also has Dong Eaton on it. So that made me very happy. And then I decided I'll call... Well, actually, it was Ollie Gerlach who suggested I call one of my dwarves Dundon St Pancras. And I thought, why not this one? Jill Gorham says, how is Little Speedy and the kittens? They're doing really well, actually. The kittens are pooping by themselves, which is great. They no longer need to be encouraged to by Little Speedy, although some of them really don't like doing it, so they make a lot of... Like, they just start screaming, basically, when they poop, which is quite funny. But yeah, they're doing great. They're just growing so fast. And they have two modes at the minute. They are either extremely awake or dead asleep. It's very sweet. But we've got them well contained at the minute, but it just feels like a matter of time until they escape even that pen. So right now it feels very calm, but pandemonium, or continued pandemonium, surely cannot be far away. That one's definitely Luna kicking off there. Hugh says, so, the 2 regular cat modes. Yeah, I guess so. But it's more that, like, I guess because there's 5 of them and they're very small, it just feels that much more intense. Because I would say even when they're extremely awake, Luna and Scout are existing cats. Don't go that hard, you know? It's quite fun painting this big chap. I was a little bit nervous about edge highlighting the armour, but it turns out they're all just really nice, chunky edges. And I have definitely put in, even just doing those 10 Hearthkin warriors, I feel like I did a good amount of practice. So it's feeling a lot easier than it normally does. Which is a relief. Nessie says, I'm doing well. I went on a picnic yesterday and saw some mushrooms I've never seen before. Lovely. There have been some interesting ones out this year. Although it's been a bit of an odd season. Like, we haven't seen any... shit, what are they called? We haven't seen any of the ones I'm thinking about. And they're not... they've normally come and gone by now. So we're hoping they're just late this year, but they might not be. Amanita Muscaria? Is that the one I'm thinking of? One sec. Flyer Garrick. Just checked in with the resident mycologist. Haven't seen any of them this year so far. They were absolutely everywhere last season. Last mushroom season, I mean. Last year. There's Watson having another drink. Nessie says, oh, the famous ones. Yeah, those ones. CookieCat94 says, kittens have 2 modes, energy and so asleep you have to make sure they are breathing. Yes, I have checked more than once. Harry Choi says, I don't like mushrooms, but it's a texture thing for me. I like them a lot. Got a hair in my mouth, that was horrible. Oh, it's not gum. Oh, yeah, Chaos says, I've made kimchi. It can now ferment happily while we're away. That sounds amazing. Kimchi is delicious. And Calification says, I'm currently 95% done moving house. A lot of work, but the house is lovely with a nice garden for dogs to play in. That sounds like a lovely house, but I've said it before, I'll say it again. Moving house is... oh, it's just the worst thing, and I hate it so much. So you have all my sympathy. You're so nearly there, and you should be proud of yourself, because bloody hell. I hope you enjoy your time settling in, and that the garden is lovely. Yeah, I just hate moving house so much. Nick Jeffries done another super chat saying, when I was little we had a ginger cat named Felix who never walked if he could run. He used to chase his tail a lot until one day when he caught it. What a lovely fable. Well, not a fable. What a lovely tale. And I'm sure Felix had a lovely tale. Cool story, but like that sounds sarcastic, but I'm glad he caught it, but I hope he didn't learn a lesson too harshly about what happens when you catch your own tail. Edge highlighting. Will says 630 quid. Fucking hell, to replace your Max monitor. That is a lot. That is upsetting. Megan M has done a super sticker. It is of a lemon person. If you imagine a lemon has become a head, and now there is sort of just a solid yellow body underneath. And there is a tiny child that is a lime nearby. The lemon keeps sort of revealing that it has a present for the lime, and the lime is very excited and keeps jumping up and down, as if to say, what a lovely thing you've done. I would like this present, please. It's a lovely scene, frankly, and I would like to thank Megan M for showing it to us all. Thank you, M. Megan M. Or just M, apparently. I hope you're having a lovely day. That was a clumsy highlight, but luckily we fixed it. 630 quid is such a gouge. That is awful. Will says, yeah, I'm not going to do it. New MacBooks are due this month. I'll upgrade instead, I think. Yeah, at that point, you just do. That sucks. I'm sorry, friend. One sec. I'm just going to skip this track because I don't care for it that much. So there. Will says, I had in fact been saving for a new one. Okay, well, swings roundabouts, I suppose. But still. Yeah, continuing to highlight the man. Although I'm thinking about making this entire army non-binary, because the sort of crest we devised last time I streamed is it's runes that say egg, but also it looks a bit like mix. Oh, sorry if I've confused anyone by saying I'm going to skip this track. I'm listening to music on my headphones, just because I like listening to music while I'm painting. But no, it is not coming through the on the stream because I do not have permission to stream the Mountain Goats or indeed any non-rights free music on the stream. Will says, I bet they'd give you permission if you asked. I met John Daniel very briefly. He seemed like a nice guy, so that was fun. All right, well, we're really getting there now, actually. So I'm going to do some tiny highlights to the blue, and then I'll layer up the face. But apart from that, This guy's actually been done very quick. Anonymous says edge highlighting or egg highlighting. Very good. Nessie says, so I found a name for the mushrooms I found. It's described as inedible, but tastes like marshmallow without the sugar. Always wonder who loves mushrooms that much. Well, you can do, like, chew and spit tests. So, like, a lot of mushrooms will be described as having this taste or this taste or this taste, but as being inedible. But most mushrooms, it's safe to give them a little chew and then spit it out again. Believe it or not. So, I don't know. Monk says, I'm dead chuffed to be able to use my mate's band for my channel. It's rad when you do. Like, it just sounds great. I'm a big fan. Really gets me amped up to just watch my friend Monk doing her thing. Hello, Watson. Sweet dog. Right, I'm going to do these tiny, tiny bits of highlighting on the blue. And then before I do the face, we'll take a little break because my throat's a little sore. Did a lot of talking over the weekend, but I think I also was snoring on Saturday night. So my throat's a bit like... Also did some recording earlier. So I've been talking a lot over the last several days. So I could do with some water, but not before I've done this highlight. There we go, there's our accent colour mixed up. Oh, it's a bit too thin. Dry the brush off a bit better. That's better, okay. It's okay. It's not my best. No, I quite like it actually. SS Young says, started out as a rough day. I need chill painting stream. Sorry, it's been a rough day, buddy. I am painting an Einhyr Champion for Warhammer 40k and having a great time doing it, so hopefully I'll be able to lift your spirits a little bit. Alright, I'm going to have a tiny break in just a moment once I've painted one or two more lines on here. because it's coming up on 6 p.m. here in the United Kingdom. And I could do with some water. All right. Oh, I haven't painted, haven't painted the stone base at all. I'll get round to that when I actually work out what I'm going to do with the basing on this stuff. It'll be Whoa! Shit! In fact, oh my god, that's impressive. Sorry, before the stream started, the other day I took a punt on some of this stuff, black lava texture gel, right? Which I got from a hobby craft, and I'll show you it with the lid off. I'll be honest with you, it looks like frog spawn. And I was like, I'm not sure how that's going to come out as like black lava. And I was like, maybe it'll be good for my basing on my dwarves. And if it's, you know, no good, I can just spray over it and paint over it and stuff. And I put some down, and yeah, in fairness, that's coming out a lot like black lava. If I'd painted under that, I'd see it would be very different. That's interesting. Wow. Anyway, just a fun bit of information for you there. One last tiny highlight, and then we'll go for a 5-7 minute break. That I thought that gel was going to be a bit of a bust, if I'm perfectly honest with you, but that's pretty good. So, right, okay. So I need to just highlight the face on this guy and some of this sort of blackened or oxidized metal, and then we're pretty much done with this guy. Oh, and I need to freehand the crest on, which is always scary. But CookieCat94 says, I got caught gathering illegal mushrooms yesterday. I have questionable morals. Very good. I'm very pleased with the goo. But I don't know if it's right for this lot. I kind of want to do a rusty metallic base. But we'll see. Anyway, right, let's have a 5 to 7 minute break, which would bring us back at 6 p.m, or just the top of the hour, basically. So, same thing as normal. Do you need a drink? Do you need a stretch? How's your posture? Are you too warm? Are you too cold? If there's anything you can do in the next 5 to 7 minutes that will enhance your enjoyment of the rest of the stream, however much you decide to watch, go do it. I'm going to go get some water. So I'll be back in 5 to 7 minutes. I'll see you then. Right screen this time. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Pantenstram. Did you have a nice break? I did. Good. Glad we had this chat. It is interesting, that stuff. I'll find a use for it, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm still kind of tiptoeing up to the idea of what kind of bases I want to do. We'll see. So, right, where were we? We were finishing up the... Paul Hayworth says no. Howard, sorry. I trashed a database at work. Now I've got to fix it. That sounds rubbish. I'm sorry. I hope you do all right at fixing it. I hope it's straightforward. Emma Benton says, yes, I scrolled TikTok mindlessly for 5 to 7 minutes. Nice. Hope you saw some very nice TikToks. Right. Oh, I need to take my glasses off. So otherwise I go cross-eyed painting. Oh, Watson, you're a very sweet dog. Right. Jepter Troll Shaman says I got a snack of some old cheddar and red chili crackers. Mmm. Sublime. That sounds like a tremendous snack. Cameron says, got set up to paint. Yes, please, Cameron. That sounds good. We do like to paint. Happy Bob says, I fell out of bed. Oh, Happy Bob. I hope you mean figuratively. And if not figuratively, I hope you're okay. Criminy. Right, I need to paint the nose ring on this guy. Which is absolutely teeny tiny on this model. But I feel it's quite important to paint it. Because I'm not going to lie, between the haircut, the general bulk and this ring, this particular model is giving me big bear energy. And I want to honour that. Okay, there we go. That cat over there says, I'm painting moth butt. Jack Wood says, I painted horrible bits on a horrible little man. Oh, God. Happy Bob says, I mean, literally, I'm fine. I laughed like an idiot at myself. Oh, goodness. Right. I think all I need to do now is freehand on the crest, and then we can start on Jakob Bugmansson. So, welcome everybody to Non-Binary Person Searches a Box of Paints, looking for a particular paint. Today's episode, we're trying to find Matt Black. Matthew Black, if you're here, please make yourself known at the front desk. That's Matthew Black to the front desk, please. Proving elusive. This paint always evades me somehow. Ah! Found it. I'm going to have a bit more water. Excuse me. There we go. Hydration's important, kids. Excuse me. Right. Wobbletron, you gonna... Nope. Up yours, Wobbletron. Oh, fuck him. Just give it a manual shake. Just the Great and Powerful says, so when you first start playing Fall Guys, are you put in an easy tier? Because I won a crown in 15 minutes, and Eurogamer and Oxboxer always make it seem like a much harder feat to achieve. Maybe you're just that good, Shoz. I've never got a crown, ever, in Fall Guys. I also the game for me didn't stick around as long as I thought it might. I was really enjoying it, and then I just suddenly stopped playing it and was like, oh, probably never going to play that again. It's weird. Right, here we go. It's the slightly nerve-wracking bit of freehanding on a thing. You see I'm rotating the model because we pull our straights and push our curves. Come on, nearly there. That went pretty well, actually. There you go. That's pretty spot on. Yeah. Nice, 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 nice. There we go. There's Dundon St Pancras, the Einhyr Champion, painted up. Let's move on to Bugmansson. So now we've done all that, we can just do it again. Ugh. Hooray! Look at them all there. Nice clutch of eggs. Okay. So, like I say, I've broken this down into a sub-assembly. So I'm going to paint the ochre on the armour here, and then I've got gloves to do in brown. And then I've got the backpack. That cat over there says, why are they called eggs? They just sort of look quite eggy. It sort of started when they first revealed the Votan models for Necromunda, because they look very, very eggy. But it's just like their little like shell heads, and I don't know, they just look like eggs. So I've sort of just been calling them eggs. Right. Have a clue. Okay. Bismuth says they're squat, rounded, and covered in a protective shell. There you go. That's a better explanation. Egg. It absolutely spun me out last night. Well, not spun me out. It blew my little mind last night when I saw that Duncan Rhodes, formerly of Warhammer, but now of the Duncan Rhodes Painting Academy, put out a video on how he comes up with paint schemes. And I was like, oh, that sounds great. I'll give that a watch. And then in one of the establishing shots, it showed the colour scheme he came up with at the end for the Leagues of Votann. And it is almost identical to the scheme I came up with for my dwarf team for Blood Bowl. And I was just like, oh, that's nice. It's good that Duncan came up with a colour scheme and it was something I also thought of. It was very surreal, but also very exciting. So that was a nice thing that happened. That's the end of my story. Thank you for listening. Monk says they wear exo armour or exo armour, and the 30-year-old ones were comically eggy. There you go, lovely eggy squats. Dominic Beresford Webb says thought you were going to start some beef as he stole it for a sec there. I'm not gonna go after Duncan Rhodes. I first learned to paint watching his videos on Warhammer TV. But I'll tell you what I will do. If anyone sees my Blood Bowl team and says, "Oh, did you copy that from Duncan Rhodes?" I'll punch those people. That's a good compromise. I'll be happy with that. Dominic says, "I accept the compromise. Hurrah!" Everyone's happy. Jill Gorham says, "Much more reasonable." Thank you, Jill. I think so. Just seems like a better solution all round, really. Much more equitable. Bismuth says, "To be fair, it's more efficient and practical than putting them through a table." I agree. And also, after I saw the video of my neighbour who's a wrestler going through a table recently, I thought, maybe I don't want to go through a table or put someone through a table. You know, maybe I'm getting soft, but I don't know. Paul Howarth has our super chat saying, "Done, database fix, no one will be the wiser." That was a quick fix. Nice work, Paul. Maybe it wasn't a quick fix and you're just that good. Let's assume that. Good job, Paul. I mean, obviously, even though you accidentally did it, but good fix. You're a safe pair of hands after all. Oops. Happy Bob says, "The question is, how badly do I think I deserve to be punched now that I know of a way to receive said punch?" Yeah, I am going to have to sort of reserve the right to refuse to punch someone if I think they're only saying it so I'll punch them because they know about the offer. Well, not the offer, the threat. So already this scheme is more complicated than I anticipated. But I'd rather not punch you in the face, please, Happy Bob. This is not really something I'm that interested in doing. Emma Burton says, "What are we offering? Why are we punching people?" It's a long story, Emma. It's just I'm actually finding it quite hard to explain myself on this one. Don't worry, Emma. It's cool. I probably won't punch anyone in the face. It's all right. The good news is, as a mod, you actually aren't responsible for my behaviour or moral conduct, which I'm sure will come as a great comfort to you. Mm-mm-mm. 'Cause, 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 ' Septimus 1026 has done a super chat saying, Johnny just casually dropping in that they are neighbours with a wrestler. Very cool. Yeah, my neighbour Adam is a wrestler, and occasionally he does death matches. So occasionally he'll sort of come back and be like, you got a first aid kit? And it's like, what have you done now? But he's a lovely fella. It's also just quite reassuring to have a neighbour with a weird job. I feel less alone. I think it's why a good number of my friends have odd jobs as well. Just bizarre lines of work. Like I know a lot of like actors and performers and stuff. And it's good. I feel like I can hide. There's safety in numbers. Still people with unlikely careers. Right, I think I'm gonna do just the bottom trim on this mug in the same yellow as the armour. I think that'll be fun. And I'll let all this sit for a sec and then I'll do a second coat of ochre. Britt Kelly says, I wonder if Johnny knows Simon Miller. Yeah, I know Simon. Not well, but it's a small industry, the UK games industry. He gets to know people. Obviously, he's wrestling now more than he's doing any game stuff. But, yeah, very nice man. Aiden Folk says you paint plastic in front of a couple of hundred people. Yes, I do. And it's great fun. It's a privilege to be doing it, to be perfectly honest. Christopher Needham says it's not list people Johnny may or may not know time, is it? It isn't. I'm pleased to say. I need to do some brown on this before I do any other ochre stuff, I think. Aha, there's ochre to be done on the axe, though. Feels very weird painting in sub-assembly. This is, to be honest, the first real character model I've done it with. I've done it with a vehicle, but just the one, so that's gone on a bit thick. Britt Kelly says, sorry, just the cross-section of Johnny and wrestling got me curious. Oh, no, sorry, it was a joke, really, that I said no, it isn't. Yeah, I have to say, I don't know, capital K, know people in wrestling. Well, I know my neighbour, and I know Simon Miller a bit, but I would say that is the extent of my connection to the wrestling scene in the UK. It's more like I know a bunch of actors, and especially it was a running gag for a long time that if ever there was an immersive acting thing as part of a games event, I'd know someone there. Like when they did an escape room for Resident Evil 6. Resi 6? No, Resi 7. When that launched. That was open to the public for a few days. And I knew the designer of the games, for one thing. But we were going along to Aoife and I were going along. Because you may remember Aoife and Luke did the escape game together. And I just sort of hung around. I was there as sort of cameraman for the opening piece to camera, but also was just having a nice time catching up with people. But as we went, Aoife was like, come on then, let's see which one of your friends is working this event. And sure enough, one of the people playing a cop was just a friend of mine. Yeah, we can get away with doing the ochre on this. That'll be fine. May as well do all of it in one batch. Oh dear, Watson. Big stretch. Angelic Fergic says, is that a little robot, Johnny? No, it's what it is, it's a backpack for this dude. So that's going to sit there like that. And it's full of beer. So at some point I'm going to have to paint the window of this to look like beer. I've actually already painted one of these. Where's my team? One sec. So, this is my team for Blood Bowl. This is the colour scheme that Duncan Rhodes shamelessly ripped off. No, that's a joke. But, where's he gone? There we go. I kit bashed a ball into his hand. But this is the model I'm painting right now. This is Jakob Bugmansson. And as you can see, there's like a little nozzle on the side of this. And then some mugs there. And then that was my first attempt at showing that it's full of beer, which isn't great. But, yeah, he's just a beer swilling fun guy. But I want to paint this one in my current army colours. And see if I can do a better job than I did the first time, just for shits and gigs. Chaos has done a super chat saying, dubstep haiku for dubstep haiku time. Wob, 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 wob. Wob, 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 wob. Wob, 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 wob. Thanks for that, Kay. That was unexpected, but great. Good times. I didn't mind dubstep when it was a thing. When it was, you know, at its height, I'll be perfectly honest. Thury Weaver's done a super chat saying, catching up from the beginning, but glad to be here and ready to watch the painting of eggs. Thank you for being here, Thury, and for the super chat. It's lovely to have you. I hope you enjoy the egg painting. I'm certainly having fun. These models are really nice sculpts. So it's just a good giggle, just sort of slapping colour on some eggy fellows. Someone seems vaguely unhappy outside, but that's fine. So at the minute we're just trying to get a first coat of this ochre down. It really needs a second one to sort of, for the colour to stand out. Toreador the Explorador says, gotta love the hot takes like, I don't mind dubstep. Same. I know, it was really brave of me, wasn't it? I found this thing inoffensive. Ooh. Big them on campus. Kind of making this slightly harder for myself because I'm leaving all of the wood until I've done the ochre, but I'll just use a small brush and be careful. That reminds me, I need to put these bits back in my team box. There we go. Keep Calm and Reload says, that's creepy, Johnny. You said that just as people outside my window started arguing. Is it creepy or is it a sad indictment of the human condition? Or both? Well, if it turns out we are living on the same road, do say hi if you see me. Keep Calm Reload says, I live in Denmark, so... Yeah, I didn't think it was likely, but, you know, just in case. If you do see me, say hi. I am 99.9% certain I'm in Denmark. Not in Denmark. Shit, I've given the game away. I've been Danish this whole time. So sorry. The whole Londoner thing's been a bit... Oh, it feels good to be unburdened. Finally admit that I am... as Danish as they come. I'm amazed no one figured it out. Lucy's done a super chat saying, I saw the most beautiful sunset during last stream. There's none today, but here is to wishing you all beautiful skies. What a lovely super chat. Thank you, Lucy. And beautiful skies to you also. Love a good sunset. There have been some good ones recently. Autumn always seems to sort of bring some of those really lovely like pastel blue and red ones out. And yeah, they're just a delight, really, aren't they? We do like a good sunset. Now, I'm 99% sure this bit's going to be hidden by the model, but since it's here, I'm going to paint it. And also the bottoms of these mugs. I'm going to need to get some more of this paint on my palette and mix it with airbrush thinner. But we're making pretty good progress today. If I can get these two characters done, I'll be kind of chuffed. Lovely bit of business. All right. You know what? I haven't done this on stream in quite a long time, but I'm going to have a little beer. Sort of fancied one, and then I thought, you know what? It's within your power to make that happen. Married to 1W says, now there is just one important question. Are you from Jutland or Zealand, Johnny? Beware, for there is only one correct answer. Uh-oh. Jutland, of course. I'm from Jutland. Yes. Good. Surprised you even had to ask. It should be so obvious. Okay, keep calm and reload says Jutland for the win. Phew. Married to 1W says, well done, Johnny. Yes. Yes. Uninherited Heirloom says, when you said have a little beer, I imagined you sipping from the little mug on that model. Oh, a tiny beer. I used to do that playing Forbidden Island. We used to fill the cup with some form of booze when we were playing, and if you were the one who claimed it, you got to drink the tiny cup. It's just fun, if you like that sort of thing. Tiny drinks. That cat over there says, I'm off to eat lunch. Have a lovely rest of the day, everyone. Take care, that cat over there. I hope lunch is delicious. Thank you for stopping by. All right, a bit more ochre. Really try and make this colour pop. Christopher Needham's on a super chat saying, if you're Danish, where's your boat with the barcode on the side? It's in dry dock, thanks. Bah. Very fond of this ochre colour. It's good fun. Corio Malayan says, wouldn't keep it in your office anyway. Well, exactly. Okay. So, once I'm done with the ochre, I'm going to have to paint the wood on the barrel here, and I think I'm actually going to chance it and use a contrast wildwood and then layer that up with other browns. Just because contrast paints are good. But also, I took the time to underpaint this, and while I've gone over it a little bit with ochre, I think it should look quite nice. So, fingers crossed anyway. I also need to swap headphones. There we go. Kayla Sanchez says, I'm currently eating a giant sandwich and drinking ice water while watching my first live stream live. It's turkey, pepper jack, and cattle chips. Num 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 num, that sounds delicious. But more importantly, hello. I'm very glad you could join us for your first live stream live. Congrats on what sounds like an excellent setup, to be perfectly honest with you. I haven't had pepper jack in a long time, but that cheese is good. It's also, I would say, the best replicated cheese I've ever had in terms of like the realm of vegan cheeses. When I was vegan, we used to get this vegan pepper jack, and it was sublime. Like, it was absolutely wonderful. It was, yeah, the best vegan cheese I think I'd ever had. And also gave me a new appreciation of pepper jack, because it's just tasty. Right. Bit more ochre just on the axe here, and then we're going to go back to the barrel and start doing the wood. Ooh, I've thinned this too much, but oh well. Hopefully it'll dry okay. Fine. Okay. Chaos says, oh my, this hot sauce I made has mellowed a little in the week since I made it, and is possibly the best one I've made yet. Yes, please, that sounds amazing. What chilies did you use? Annoyingly, this year, the Apache chili harvest hasn't been enough for me to make hot sauce with it. But I love Apache chilies. They're just so tasty. I there's a whopping super chat, actually, from Septimus1026. Thank you very much. I'm going to read it out without reading it. I've just got a bad feeling about this one. I went on vacation without arranging a place to stay. At midnight, the only spot we could find was a motel painted dark blue. Without a name listed on the side, we couldn't book a room. Therefore, we were forced to scan the Navy Inn. Yeah. Okay. That was actually pretty good, Septimus. but also horrible. I'm reading it. I'm reading it again. I went on vacation without arranging a place to stay. At midnight, the only spot we could find was a motel painted dark blue. Without a name on the side, we couldn't book a room. Therefore, we were forced to scan the Navy Inn. Manuel Riveros has done a super chat saying a small appreciation for the streams. Going out on holiday for 2 weeks and then finally going back to Brazil after 1 year working in Germany. That sounds great. Have a lovely time, Manuel. Travel safe. Yeah, and have a blast. It sounds like you're in for a really good time. Good on you. I haven't gone anywhere. I haven't left the country since before. Well, since the pandemic, basically. I would like to fix that sometime. Get back to traveling. Right. Let's dig out the... Chaos says it's mango, thyme, allspice, fresh Scots bonnets, fresh... That's hard to say. Fresh Scotch bonnets and dried arbols. That sounds great. Emma Benton says, same Johnny, I want to come see you. We'll also go on my honeymoon. Yeah, I still haven't... My partner and I still haven't done our honeymoon, and we got married over 5 years ago. Which seems silly. We've not done it, but obviously quite a few things have got in the way. Anyway, oh no, never mind. I found the paint. Okay. We're going to carefully apply. Nessie says Wobbletron it. Wobbletron's not very well. So I've gone back to manually agitating my paints. It's too much paint. Let's pull some of that back out. Ooh. That's not enough contrast paint now. Okay. Kayla says, what have you done to Wobbletron? I haven't done anything, but Wobbletron just doesn't seem very well. Wobbletron's been refusing to activate. Monk says that he knows what's wrong and he can help me fix it, which is great. Because Monk and I are like IRL buddies. So Wobbletron's going to be fine, probably, but right now Wobbletron is not very well. So please, thoughts and prayers for Wobbletron, if you'd be so kind. Okay. Surprisingly delicate operation, this. But it seems to have gone okay. Cool. Great, great, great. Jack Wood says, given Monk's solution to squats was put demons in them, I'm somewhat scared for Wobbletron's safety. Yeah, that's valid. But hey, if it means Wobbletron starts wobbling again, even with demonic energy, I'll be happy. Okay. So we go. It's a bit of the wood done. We are gonna layer that up a bit, but Will says put demons in the Wobbletron and abominable intelligence. Good lord. Chaos says, Johnny, as we exit the spooky season and enter the unlit lands of endless Christmas, will you get Joe back in and do a festive food test video? Yes. I really want to do party beige. Because, like, we did party foods, but we specifically weren't doing, like, oven party foods. I've never been to an oven party foods party. So I'm very excited about it. So yeah, Joe and I need to sort of smash our diaries together and work out when that's going to happen. But, it's happening. Don't you worry. We're talking, like, frozen tiny duck spring rolls. We're talking prawn rings. We're talking chicken satay skewers, all sorts. Raid PW says, is Party Beige basically the content of an Iceland advert? It is sort of the sort of thing they start to advertise around Christmas, and they're like, get everyone together. You can get smoked salmon blinis and this and this and this. Yeah, it's basically like finger food for parties. That's just quite easy to buy and cook and serve. But I've never experienced it, so. Half tempted to say I should just throw a party and Joe and I will have GoPros on our heads. But we'll see. Will says, oh god, Joe and Johnny eat Greggs. Like a Try Guys eat the menu but greasy. Oh goodness. Transgamer Nerd says, I am here for my lunch break. Hello. I hope work's going alright. I'm painting Jakob Bugmansson the 9th, who's actually an Age of Sigmar model. But I'm painting up in the same colour scheme as my Leagues of Votann army anyway. Just for a bit of paint pudding, just for grins, really. He's in sub-assembly, which is why I'm painting a stump. Wait, did I move this? Make it... Let's do that. There we go, that's a bit better. Transgamer Nerd says, job going great, just got done with a virtual meeting with my boss. Yeah, lovely. Good on ya. I find it very hard to have virtual meetings with my boss. I now have to have an out-of-body experience. It's a little self-employment joke there for you. Will asks, what's the worst British eat the menu option? God. Wimpy's got to be up there. Some of the things you see coming out of the Addleston Wimpy Twitter account are not. They don't look good. The entire menu at Little Chef would be hard. Toby Carvery, yeah, here's 5 full different rice for you to sample, says Will. Spoons would be awful, but also I refuse to set foot in Spoons because the owner's a shitlord. Cheap drinks aside. Sam Smith's menu would be punishing as well. Just a lot of very dense sandwiches. Will says, especially because you can't swear too. Yeah, Sam Smith, the owner of Sam Smith, is actually a horrible man also. Just dreadful. Likes to go in secret to pubs, and then if anyone's on their phone or swearing, which are not allowed in his pubs, then he'll like heavily reprimand the pub itself. He once shut down a newly opened pub because he went in secret and heard some patrons, mind you, telling a joke with swearing in it, and he kicked the landlord and landlady out and shut the pub. It wasn't their doing, but he was like, "Get out." It was wild. Silent Cobb has done a super chat. The super chat has no message attached. Whether that is intentional or not, I very much appreciate it, Silent Cobb. If there was a message that was meant to be attached to that, just type it in chat as per normal. If you @tag me, then I'll definitely see it and I'll read it out with all of the gusto that I would have read it out if it were part of your original super chat. Either way, thank you very much for the support. I truly appreciate it. It's very generous of you. Thanks for @ing me just with the word willies there, Will. That's very good of you. Chaos says, have you ever had the Scottish double carb treat that is a macaroni pie? A delightful short crust pastry case filled with macaroni cheese, topped with cheese, then baked. I've had a lasagna pie in Scotland, not a macaroni pie. It was from, I can't remember the name of the chain, but it was kind of like, it seemed like a bit like a Scottish Greggs. They had like tatty dogs and lasagna pies and all that kind of stuff. And I sampled their treats with gusto when I did the Edinburgh Fringe when I was 20. Levi Coffee has done a super chat saying, you've helped me smile today, thank you. You're very welcome, Levi. I hope you're doing all right. Always glad to help raise a smile to people's faces, unless they're my hated enemies. Lucas says, Silent Cobb is as silent and mysterious as good luck or a quick death. I know, right? Wild. Baines. Might be Baines Chaos. I'm afraid it was years ago now. It was a long old time ago that I went and enjoyed these delicious treats. I really like battered haggis, though. That was a staple of mine when I was in Edinburgh as well. Nathan says, have you ever tried a Wigan kebab? And Jackwood says, the Wigan kebab should be a war crime. What is this of which you speak? What is? Please explain. Meat pie and a bread bun. That sounds great. Well, Jackwood, why the disdain for the Wigan kebab? It's a bun with an entire pie in it, says Jack. Is that a bun as in the same thing as like bun pay wet? Because I know what that is. Sam Black says, yeah, yesterday was the anniversary of Bad Things TM, so I'm grateful I can hang out with my lovely fellow they them GM. Sorry to hear about yesterday, but I'm glad that today is today, and that we can indeed hang out while we talk about Barms. Trans Gamer Nerd says, Oh, Johnny, 2 questions. Is that a wine cork your mini is attached to? Yes. And what do you use to attach your minis to tent bases? So, normally, like, this is blue tack down, so that's how I do most of my painting. This is the first time I've ever actually done a sub-assembly, but what I did was, I got a little hobby drill, this one specifically, and I drilled a little hole in here, and then I used some super glue and some wire to just attach it, so that I can hold it but without actually having to touch the mini itself, or the part itself. And it's worked quite nicely. I know a lot of people do this with a hobby drill and paper clips, with like a 1mm drill bit to do like individual heads. I can only imagine there are countless guides on YouTube if you wanted to go have a look at one. But yeah, that's what I did basically. RV Dammit's done a super chat saying, and here's me derailing everything to comment that I'm for UV LEDs because I've been messing with fluoro paint. Ooh, that sounds like fun. Goodness me. I've never experimented with fluoro paints. Maybe maybe Joe Scrabbles and I can do like an on the road thing when we try lots of local delicacies, like a Wigan kebab. If it weren't for the fact that I promised my mum I would never, ever, ever get a motorbike or ride one, because when she was a nurse, she had to look after several people on a ward where they'd come off motorbikes, and she said the injuries were horrific. So it's like the one thing I've ever really been banned from doing. I'd say it'd be great if we just got a motorbike and a sidecar, and we just like just kind of went around the country eating weird foods. What would hospitalise us first? The motorbike or the food? Transgamer Nerd says, you're Johnny Chiodini and this is Diners, Dive-Ins and Dives? Oh, Diners, Drive-Ins and Dives, damn it. What's that noise? Hello, Watson, you okay? Thought I heard something weird then, but I think I was just imagining it. Joseph Bugman. No, Jakob Bugmansson. You merry little fucker. Right, where is the Night Haunt Gloom? Just add a swimming portion for the dive-in, says Christopher Needham. Nathan says, go to York and have a roast dinner Yorkie wrap. Yes, please. Sounds great. Boo Must Die says, what goes on your doner? I'm all salad. Most of the time I'm all salad, but quite often I'll say no onions. And then garlic and chilli. Sometimes a bit of extra chilli on top of the salad. And that's me, baby. Emma Benton says, speaking of food, did anyone see the absolutely painful Great British Bake Off episode this last week where they tried to make tacos? I saw that a lot of people were like, why the fuck did they not ask one Mexican person about Mexican Week? But I haven't watched the Bake Off. I used to absolutely live for it. I used to adore it. But I haven't watched it since they got Matt Lucas in to present, because I think he's a fucking arsehole. So I've not watched it. I've boycotted it. Oh! Just throwing the mini across the thing. Apparently it was so offensive and bad and they couldn't pronounce tortilla. Oofed. Jack Wood says, do you reckon you could get Joe and Gav to take you to the kebabbies? That's their thing. I don't want to tread on their toes. It's plausible. But I'll leave them to it. Joe and I have spent a lot of time talking about our favourite items from Chinese takeaways. So we have genuinely posited that one of the videos is just Joe and Johnny eat a Chinese they like. Just eat a Chinese takeaway. Just have a bit of fun. But we'll definitely do Party Beige. Joe and Johnny get all tanked up and go for a curry. Oh, that would be a good one. No, not that one. Not that one, that one. Okay. If you're not busy on the 28th of February, says Chaos, you could try and score tickets to the National Fish and Chip Awards. Oh, that's not gone well, that bit. Not at all. Okay, that's all right. Will says, Joe and Johnny have 8 pints apiece and lose 200 quid at the dogs. Less keen on that one, I'll be honest. But never say never. Getting on for being able to shade this, I think. Ah, yeah, that's right. Just do a bit more silver on there. Oh dear, that's quite a lot of silver paint, but oh well. Chaos says Joe and Johnny do the circle line pub crawl. Oof. Absolutely brutal. I suppose there's like the Bermondsey beer mile and stuff, but that feels like wanky tourism instead of the two of us just being little gremlins. What's the Glasgow Metro pub crawl though? If it's in a different city, it's fine. Although I don't know, like, not gonna lie, I spent the weekend in Oxford, and people did not like the cut of my jib there at all. I got heckled a lot by people, and one guy just sort of got up in my face, having seen me approximately 2 seconds earlier. I don't know what it was, but just a lot of people, seemingly, on the streets of Oxford on Saturday did not like the look of me. And this was in, like, the afternoon as well. Will says Joe and Johnny walk down Brick Lane and say yes to every man who tries to entice them in for a curry. Oh, we die. Nathan says, drag myself over to my painting desk. Let's slap some paint on a Troggoth. Yes, please. Sounds good. I quite like the look of the new massive Sons of Behemat guy. King Big Man, or whatever his name is. I don't know. The Gargants, Mega Gargants, are just interesting models. I don't think I'd ever buy one, but they're cool. Will says, re Glasgow Metro, look up a map of it. I'm assuming, yes, okay. I'm starting to get a picture of what you might be getting at here. His name is Billy Big Bollocks. Thank you, Nathan. Oh, look up a map of it. Oh, it's the tiniest, silliest metro on Earth. Oh. Let's have a look. Glasgow Metro map. I mean, that's still 15. That's what just came up. Still 15 stations. You know? Okay. That's fine. Alrighty. We're getting there. There are two lines, that way and that way. Oh. Okay, how are we looking here? That's pretty much dried. That Nighthaunt Gloom. No, Hexblade. Hexwraith Flame, whatever. Need to layer up the face. But then apart from that, I think it's ready to shade the body. I think I'll shade everything. I'll tackle the little window last. Joseph Loader is on a super chat saying, I guarantee Buffalo, New York's metro is the tiniest and stupidest thing in existence. I didn't realise it was a competition, but I'll take your bloody word for it. I rode the Waterloo and City line for the first time in my life a while ago, and I just simply didn't realise it was one stop. Unfortunately, it's not pointless, so it doesn't win the competition, but... Right. Yeah, nearly ready to shade this lot. Just going to tidy up a tiny bit of metal there. Fine. Oh, and also do some... I'll do that later. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Let's start mixing some shade. Anonymous says, the Vatican has a subway to bring the mail in. London used to have a mail rail. you can go visit a stretch of it and go on a little converted mail train. I say converted. They're specially made, but they're like replicas of the mail trains. And a few times a year, you can actually walk along the railway lines themselves on a guided tour. I've done it, and it's great fun. They're just really small little diddy trains that used to carry the post about the place between sorting offices. It's fascinating. And in the tunnel, they've got a floodgate, because the River Fleet is one of the many rivers of London that has been forced underground into a series of tunnels. But it's right next door to these tunnels, so they built these floodgates in case the fleet bursts through. But they never tested them because they were like, we're not sure if we shut this that we'll ever be able to open them again. So they're just there. Oh, that's way, 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 way too much. That is not diluted at all. Blag. Oh, God. Oh, Christ. I'm actually, controversially, just going to dunk that whole model in water there. Did I do it? Yes, I did. That is un desastre. Will says that'd be roughly where Fleet Street is, isn't it? Yes. Yeah, it's fascinating how many different rivers are just under the ground in London. They're all, well, I think most of them are Thames tributaries, but I'd give it a good Google. But don't confuse it with the Rivers of London series, which is whimsical fantasy propaganda by Thingy Aronovich, Ben Aronovich. Aiden Folk says the most pointless part of the London Underground was the Aldgate branch of the Piccadilly. Yes, but now they use it as a filming location. They filmed a bunch of 28 Weeks Later there. I know this because it was next to my uni. Balliol College, Oxford. Oh, that made me giggle. Aiden says, oof, I meant Aldwych, but you knew what I meant. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Aldwych, not Aldgate. But yes, I did know what you meant. Happy Jack says, I've had a few hard kombuchas today. Think you'd like them. I don't think I've ever tried kombucha, I think I might got a bit freaked out by the is it a giant mushroom in Adventure Time that floats around giving out facts about kombucha? Scared me a little bit. Well, it didn't scare me, but I've not tried kombucha anyway. I've definitely shaded that to be much darker. No, I haven't. It's all right. Monk says I've got a river running not 6 feet away from me, past my gaff. There we go. Will says the kombucha mushroom people, it's fine, they just sit around all day. RV Dammit says the fleet also floods or seeps into some of the KCL Strand building. Yep, can confirm. For that indeed was my alma mater. Balliol College, Oxford. My favourite jokes in life are the ones that are just for me. Bismuth says, just realised I've got the week off and 20 leftover cans from Bloodstock. Well, well, well. It's going to be an eventful week off. Georgia Colvin says, if you like ginger, there are some delicious hard or dry ginger kombuchas. Interesting. Oof. Oh, they're kind of like a sour beer, says Happy Jack. All right, sign me up. I fucking love sour beer, in fairness. Will says, do you know what I love best about the Balliol College Oxford joke? It's not funny at all. Brilliant. I know. It's just, I just find it very funny. This is not a diss, it's appreciation. Yeah, no, it's just me claiming to have gone to Oxford. Kayla Sanchez says, I'm always up for a sour beer, but I've yet to meet a kombucha I like. Interesting. And Zega Genesis says it's not the good sour, though. Curious. Right, what to do about this here window? Defect says, sour beer is just not beer. It's an abomination. That I couldn't disagree more. I love sour beer so much. Okay, all right. I think I've got an idea. Let's just see what we come out with. Will says sour beer is one of the oldest forms of brewing out there. Well, well. It's too light, if anything. Okay. Yeah, that's a bit better. All right. It looks bad so far. My plan was to sort of paint it so it looks like there's beer in the bottom. Actually, it looks okay. Actually, that looks better than I've done before. Okay, cool. Georgia Colvin says, we've been toying with the idea of getting a kegerator and putting kombucha in it that someone else brewed because we're too lazy to brew it ourselves. Kegerators are expensive, but amazing. You know what? At a distance, that reads all right. Will says, exciting news. The little plastic pizza table has turned 34 this year. Oh. Happy birthday, the little pizza table. I'm actually quite pleased with how it's turned out. Right, so it's basically we're into edge highlighting again. Nathan says, what's a kegerator? It sounds like the kind of nickname a lad would give himself on a stag do. It is basically, it's a little box that you just like go, net, and it like, it's sort of like, it aggressively chills, but also kind of carbonates beers. It's just very good. Morex42 says, I've got it. Johnny and Joe try cheese. The two of you just get as many cheeses as possible and rate them. We'd be unconscious after a little bit, I think. Not saying that's a no. Alright, here we go again. Oh, this shade's not completely dried on this. It's looking better here, though. Camera game has been really off this stream. Sorry, everyone. Monk says, what are you drinking, babes? This Pluto Villager Stout is rather tasty. I'm drinking Ossian, which is a refreshing golden ale from the heart of Scotland. It's actually made by Innis & Gunn. The Innis & Gunn Inveralmond Brewery Limited. Perth, Scotland. It's a good, inexpensive golden ale, basically. Chaos says Johnny and Joe eat the entire menu of Pizza Express and lose the ability to sweat. I'm not going to Woking just for a YouTube video, I'm afraid. Whoops. Monk says, I've discovered a lovely little place in some arches near me, Trebon. Well, well, well. Ray PW says, I haven't had an Innis & Gunn for years. I bloody love this stuff too. Over the weekend, I had a couple of the rum cask. Just such good beer. Really lovely. Strong, but lovely. Oh, that was a big stretch, Watson. Yeah, all right, pig. I have to admit, she does seem happier now we've stopped taking her to the pub. We didn't realise she wasn't enjoying it, really, but now we've stopped. It's like, oh, yeah, okay, she's just not nervous. So, a worthy sacrifice. Ray PW says, yes, that's the stuff. It's just so good, isn't it? I remember I discovered it when I went to a rum festival with a guy I knew from karate. This was a long time ago now. But he was French Tahitian and fucking loved rum. And he was like, listen, I've got a spare ticket to this rum festival, but no one can go. Do you want to come? And I was like, hell yeah. So we met up. And then it turned out that it was taking place in the Royal Horticultural Society's big hall, which was the room in which I did, I would say, 98% of my university examinations. So we were queuing up outside, and just as a Pavlovian response, I started to feel sick with nerves. You know, I was holding a piece of paper and waiting for my timed entry to this place, just like I'd done countless times before. And then we walked in, and it just smelled like bodies and rum. And I was like, oh my God. And then you basically, with your ticket, you got a series of tickets where you could just get free samples of rum, and you could get a couple of free beers from Innocent Gun. And basically, we just spent a few hours just sampling rum and chatting, and like, it completely reclaimed the space for me. It was wonderful. It was absolutely amazing. And I know what you're thinking. Why would they make me do all my exams in the Victoria area of London when I went to Balliol in Oxford? My response would just be, don't think about it too much. Okay, that's that. While we're here, I'm just going to do a bit more work on that wood. Flora says, hey Johnny, just quit off Sea of Thieves because I was being repeatedly hunted by some decidedly unfriendly French players. Hope painting's going better. It is. I'm not being hunted, for one, which is often a metric of a good time. I'm sorry about those players. That sucks. Normally, I find French players in Sea of Thieves to be a delight, but I guess they can't all be amazing. That sucks. I'm sorry. But good choice to quit out. Because sometimes it can just feel a bit relentless in that game, can't it? Excuse me. Oh yeah, that's right. I was edge highlighting. Good to remember what it is you're doing at any given moment in the day, Johnny. Well done. Slow down, you're getting lazy. Jennifer Dodd says, "Hi Johnny, I'm watching my other half, Joel, watch you on his PC across the room. Please can you say hello to Joel for me? It would probably make his whole night. Ha ha. Listen up, Joel. Jennifer's got in touch and told me to say hi. So this is me coming from the other side of my computer to the other side of your personal computer to say, what's up, buddy? I hope you're having a lovely day. What a lovely thing that you're both enjoying this stream, sort of, from different parts of the same room. That sounded sarcastic. I didn't mean for it to be. Basically, thanks for tuning in. You both seem like fun. It is a pleasure to give you a shout out. Whoops-a-daisy. Johnny, that was bad. Someone's enjoying having a scooter outside. You ever notice that? Scooter owners seem very happy to have scooters a lot. Like they're always just... They're giddy with excitement, they are. Revving their scooters. Driving around. Driving back down the same road, also very fast, repeatedly. You know what? They're little scamps, they are. Those scooter owners. The window is open, so I probably shouldn't be saying any of this too loud. But they could be a mile away for all I know. Will says, I hate to tell you it's because a scooter is a lot of fun. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, I'm glad they are having as much fun as it looks like they're having. Okay. Okay, I'm definitely getting a little bit sloppy with this highlighting. I should cool my little jets. They said, pressing on as if nothing had changed. Levi Coffee says, time to go. Must go buy my daughter her own kit of minis. Yes. See everyone either on Discord or on Thursday. Take care, Levi. Happy hunting for miniatures for your daughter. And I will catch you very soon, no doubt. It's been lovely having you in chat, as per usual. Didn't go so well, but hey ho. Jennifer Dodd says, we run a business together and we've watched almost every single Oxventure episode over the last 3 months. And now I DM myself. That's a lot of Oxventures to take in 3 months. That's impressive. I'm very glad you're DMing yourself, though. I hope you are enjoying it. It's such a lovely weird rush. It's so very specific, isn't it? When you're just like... It's like just kind of dodging the things people throw at you. When you stick the landing, to mix my metaphors, it feels great. Just, yeah. Trying to think ahead of people, but because you're trying to facilitate their fun, is a really good time. My favourite moments, I think, when I'm GMing is when I find myself... I mean, I'm always kind of like cheering for the players, but when they have a plan and I'm like, I hope this comes off and I hope they really commit to it and go for it, and it goes brilliantly because I love it. I love that kind of thing. I just kind of live for those moments where I'm right there alongside them, just wanting them to succeed, but still wanting to enforce the rules so it doesn't feel like they're just getting a gimme, you know? Sega Genesis says, like the Beeples? No. Not like the fucking Beeples. I like that they like that bit so much, but my god, I hate that bit. And it's not about me anyway. If they want to do that bit, they can do that bit. The Oxventure is a Gestalt entity. It's bigger than me. But fucking Beeples. Eccentric Lefty says, only 2 of them like that bit. We've not talked about it that much, mostly because I don't like talking about it. But yes, I mean, those 2 are delighted with that bit, so... I will admit, John Honey and Lemon is funny. Like, I think it's the way Andy always talks about it. And I respect them for making me admit that it's just fun to have Scooter. I respect that I respect that they can make me give credence to a single part of that joke. It's just so much fun to have Scooter, apparently, you know? Like, you spend so many days where not have Scooter, and then, like, one day, boom, have Scooter. And then, from there, nothing's ever the same. Because, you know, there's so many things you can do with Scooter, like rev Scooter, drive Scooter sensibly, drive Scooter not sensibly, sit on Scooter, think about Scooter, talk about Scooter, fuel Scooter, maintenance on Scooter, you know? Dislike rival Scooter. So much. So much you can do when Scooter. This face isn't my best work, I'll be honest. Yeah, it's not too bad, actually. Mr. Tom's try jump gap on Scooter, injure self, right? See? great. Cameron says you've never sounded more Italian, Johnny. Right. Need to highlight the cloth. And then we're sort of done, really. I'll do a second final highlight. Will says, get really, really pissy about Scooter falling over. Oh, that's a good... Yeah, lovely, that one. Melody Williams says, okay, I shall rewind a little back and hear some GMing to psych myself up for tomorrow's first proper GM. Good luck. I'm sure you're going to absolutely smash it. Just remember, they're on your side, you know? Like, everyone's there to have fun. They're not there judging you. You've got an appreciative audience out there, or at least you should do. And if they're being jerks about it, that's a whole other problem. But you know what you do. Like, just have fun with it. Make sure you're having fun as well. And remember, if you need a moment to think, just say you need the toilet, because people will always believe that you're just going to the toilet, when actually you're thinking. It's like, I've had it more than once where after a game, people have been like, I can't believe, you know, like, you responded to that, like, that thing. Like, how did you come up with that? It's like, I gave myself a break while I went to the toilet. It was really easy. And no one suspects that you don't already have a plan. It's very useful. Melody Williams says, thanks, it's just a two-player Blaze one-shot, so it's going to be fine. Oh, you can have a lovely time. I really like two-player Blaze in the Dark. It's intimate, but good. Okay, that's that bit done. I think we're pretty much there. I think there's any blue. Oh no, I've put some blue on Jakob Bugmansson's head. I'll fix his head, and then I think we're pretty much done. Then I might assemble the bastard. All right. Now, where's the other flesh colour? There we go. Kara's a mess, says I'm going to go lay down and probably sleep, but the stream has helped me feel a little bit better. Thank you all, and have a great rest of the day. Take care, Kara. I hope your recovery is very swift and smooth. Rest up. I hope you get some good sleep. No weird dreams. Just lovely ziz. Yeah, take care of yourself and feel better. Ooh, I'm not going to read out what Melody's typed in chat, just in case one of the players is watching. And if you are, don't go looking to try and read it. Don't go looking to try and read me. But that sounds very good. All right. Oh, that's why it looks weird. Okay. I've accidentally given Jakob Bugmansson, like, panto eyebrow. I was wondering why he looked weird. That's a hell of a lot better. Good. All right. Neat. And let's just do a bit of stippling on, like, the foam of the beer. Got some cream on there as well. Hooray! Right. Now it's time for, is there enough super glue in this tube to super glue Jakob Bugmansson together? I guess we're going to find out. But first, I need my snips, because there's some super glue jutting up there that's going to make that hard to glue in. Ooh, where have I put my snips though? Oh. Aha. It's between the keyboards. Keyboard sandwich, of course. Okay. Okay. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, let's do it. Oh, well, that's stuck quite nicely. Fingers crossed. Yes! Okay. Just going to hold that there. Hee hee hee. This has come out very nicely, I think. Nessie says, was that a chicken in the background? No, I think it was someone on scooter. At least I don't think it was chicken in the background. I feel like I'd have noticed if chicken was in background. Oh, I see what you mean. No, that is a child, I think. Oh no, well now I can hear a kitten. That's not a chicken or a child. Yeah, that noise, that's a kitten. suspect it might be one of them pooping, because they really don't like pooping. Right, so there we go. Assembled. Painted. Jakob Bugmansson, the 9th. Just hanging out. Just hanging out with some other eggs. Like Dundon and Pancras. The egg we painted earlier. Done some alright work today, actually. Quite pleased with these. Tremendous. There we go. Nessie says, beer Eggman. Exactly. Beer Eggman. Right. I think with that, I might wrap up the stream for today. Thanks for all your kind compliments on how this looks. Oh, God. I think that is a kitten having a poo. So there you go. Monk says beer egg, so eggnog? Ah. So yeah, there we go. That's Joseph Bugmansson, and this is Dundon St. Pancras. And then Anonymous says there's a Swedish expression for being tight with money. He cries when he shits. That's interesting. Anyway, right. Thank you all for joining me on this stream. Feels like it went quite quickly. I hope you'll have a lovely rest of your day. I have a Patreon if you weren't already aware somehow. It's patreon.com/JohnnyChiodini. If you want to support me directly, that would be lovely. But either way, thank you so much, everyone, for joining and chatting and super chatting and all that good stuff, and just being lovely skeleton pals. So I now seem to just have a really bad prison shiv. But yeah, thank you all so much. I'm going to be back on Thursday. It will be the concluding part of the Excavation of Hobbs Barrow, a lovely folk horror game that I just cannot stop playing, apparently. And then Presney Chiodini will return on Saturday with new episodes of that. So there's plenty for you to look forward to. In the meantime, I'm just going to pop this another... Wait a minute. 10, 11 eggs. A dozen eggs. I'm going to put these little fellows to sleep. And I will catch you all very soon. So take care of yourselves. Have a lovely rest of your day, however much is left. And that's pretty much it. Bye!